It's a brand new.
Step Out, Step In podcast. Live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today.
Step out of the shadow. It's a brand new.
Good evening and welcome to another episode 139 of Step Out, Step In podcast, live on YouTube and Facebook. This is a podcast that helps you to step out of limitation to step into what God has prepared for you and for your life. Today we are streaming live from a different location. That is why the video quality is this way. And if you can hear me loud and clear, just give me some thumbs up. Give me some thumbs up. Let's see here. And again, thank you for tuning in. And once again, it's so exciting to be here on this Monday, the 26th of January in the year of our Lord 2026. If you could do me just one big favor, if you can share the link with at least one person. Okay, thank you very much. I got a thumbs up right there. That means that the sound is good. Thank you so much. And all right. So the other thing is, if you can do me a favor by sharing the link, put in the link in the comment section. You can copy it and send it out to at least one person. Let one person also send it to another person. We are in this together. Episode 139 live on YouTube and Facebook. And this topic is The Vision is On. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, David Gyawu. Stay tuned.
Every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join me as we dive headfirst into thrilling stories of personal growth, daring adventures, and transformative experiences. Get ready to be motivated, inspired, and empowered to live your life to the fullest. So mark your calendar, set your alarm, and get ready to step out, step in with me every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Subscribe now, and let's step into the unknown together. This is Step Out, Step In. The journey begins here. Step Out, Step In podcast, live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today.
All right. Again, thank you for tuning in and welcome back to episode 139 of Step Out, Step In podcast, live on YouTube and Facebook. And I said this episode is The Vision is On. You know, we are coming to the end of the first month of the year. And we want to stay focused. We want to stay on course. We want to have the vision on and not tune out of it. So today, as we step out in this podcast, we're going to be talking about the vision is on, because this year is too important, ladies and gentlemen, for us to live without a vision. This year is too important for us to live carelessly. And, you know, have you ever noticed how easy it is to start something with excitement? I mean, in the beginning of the year, you have all that excitement. But how hard it is to stay committed when the excitement wears off. You were clear in the beginning, you prayed, you fasted, you planned, you felt peace about it. And then challenges shows up. And don't forget about it as we journey through. It's part of the journey. We will embrace it, we'll embark it. But it's not going to cause us to bury your vision and bury your dreams. Delays tested your patience, and defeat tried to convince you that maybe you heard from God wrongly. That wasn't what God was telling you. But let me tell somebody this evening that the vision is still on. I believe you can write it somewhere and put it somewhere that the vision is on. It didn't expire because of difficulty, and it's not going to expire because of difficulty. It didn't get cancelled because of delays. Sometimes we think that delays are denials, but no. Delays is just God waiting for you for the appointed time to launch you out. It didn't die because of setbacks. So again, welcome to this episode, Step Out, Step In podcast, where we are learning to step out of fear and step into purpose, step into clarity, and step into your calling. I believe that every one of us has a calling. And this year is one of the most amazing years that you can put all these things to chance, but you and I are going to walk hand in hand together to make the vision stay alive. So today's episode is, I believe, is for everyone who has ever asked, should I keep going? Is this still worth it? Did I miss my moment? If you've ever asked these questions, you will resonate with me and you will understand. And I believe that this episode is for you. So let's talk about vision and how to keep your eyes on it, no matter what tries to distract, discourage, or delay your vision. So, since I'm not in the regular setup, it's going to be a little bit, so I'm going to be controlling two things right here. All right, so let's start off by defining what vision is. So what is vision? So let's start off with the definition. And in my definition, I say vision is God's given ability to see beyond your present circumstances and remain anchored to a future God has already revealed. Let me say it one more time. Vision is God's given ability to see beyond your present circumstances and remain anchored. You want to remain anchored to a future God has already revealed. You know, ladies and gentlemen, vision is not just what you want. Vision is what God has shown you. You know, as a person of faith, every now and then I want to throw in a scripture. And let me put in Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 18. We want to look at these two verses. From the King James Version, it says that where there is no vision, the people perish. And the New King James says that where there is no revelation, that is the prophetic vision. When you look at the definition of revelation in that context, it means prophetic vision. The people cast off restraint. So where there's no vision, the people cast off restraint. Restraint it means that without divine guidance, without a higher purpose or a clear direction, everyone runs wild. I mean, people lose their moral boundaries. They become indisciplined or undisciplined. They run wild and fall into lawlessness, chaos, and disobedience, leading to self-destruction or perishing. So essentially, lacking a guiding vision leads to people uncontrolled, people acting impulsively without purpose or moral compass. So vision, ladies and gentlemen, gives direction. Vision gives discipline. Vision gives endurance. That is what vision does. Vision gives endurance. So vision is what keeps you moving when the feelings fade. Vision is what keeps you standing when results are slow. Vision is what keeps you believing when evidence is missing. Vision is not always loud, ladies and gentlemen. That is one thing you and I need to understand and we need to know. It is not always loud. Vision sometimes is quiet. It's a quiet conviction that refuses to let you quit. And here's a key truth. Vision doesn't eliminate obstacles, it outlives them. The fact that you have a vision doesn't mean that you're not going to encounter obstacles or you're going to have a smooth pathway through. No. Beg your pardon. The reality of vision. So vision outlives those obstacles when you encounter them, when you face them. And so let's look at the reality of challenges, the reality of delays and defeats. Because as you go through it, you will encounter them. You will face them. It is part of the journey. And let's be honest. Every vision will be tested, ladies and gentlemen. Every vision will be tested. Will be tested. And so when your vision is tested, it means challenges test your commitment. When you're committed to something and you go through that testing moment, when you go through those challenges, it doesn't make you quit. It doesn't make you leave what you are committed to. Delays will test your patience. You know, sometimes we are in the microwave generation. We want things now and now we want to get it. But there are certain things, if it's going to last longer, it is going to test your patience. Defeats test your confidence. I beg your pardon. So, if you thought vision meant a smooth road, let me lovingly correct that idea, ladies and gentlemen. In Habakkuk 2 and verse 3, it says that write a vision, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarries, it says wait for it. Though it tarries, wait for it. And the scriptures tells us three important things. Vision has timing, vision may delay, vision still come to pass. So let me say that again. Vision has timing, vision may delay, but no matter what, no matter how long it takes, as you're waiting there for it, it will surely come to pass. Delays does not mean denial, as I said earlier. Difficulty does not mean a dysfunction, ladies and gentlemen. Defeat does not mean disqualification. You know, the enemy doesn't fight what has no future. He will fight something that has a future. That is why you don't have to give up on yourself, because he that is in you is greater than that which is in the world. And know that number one, you are more than a conqueror. Number two, you are an overcomer. So God has built those within you. That is why you have to keep your eyes on the vision. You have to keep the lights of the vision on. You don't have to turn it off. You have to keep it on. You have to keep those lights on. You know, I said that the enemy doesn't fight anything that has no future. Resistance is often confirmation that your vision matters. When you go through those tough moments, friction, asking yourself those questions, that Is this really going to happen? Is it really going to come to pass? Somebody started yesterday and they just took off. They are running with your vision. How come mine is taking so long? Wait for it. See, though it tarries, it will surely come to pass. Just wait for it. And sometimes we have this issue when it comes to the waiting time, the waiting period. So, how do you keep your eyes on the vision? And I want to share 5 key principles with you tonight, or today, or when you happen to watch the replay. All right, so number 1 is write the vision. Number 1 is says write a vision and make it plain. Says write the vision and make it plain. That is what Habakkuk 2:2 tells us. What you don't write, you will forget, ladies and gentlemen. What you don't write, you will forget. All right. So watch this space. I will be back.
Step Out, Step In podcast. Live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today.
Step out of the shadow. It's a brand new.
All right, again, thank you for tuning in. I had to step out a little bit. All right, so we're saying that number 1 is Number two is refuse to interpret vision through circumstances. Circumstances are temporary, ladies and gentlemen. Vision is intentional. You have to be intentional about it. There is an intentionality that is built within it, and that depends on you. Joseph had a vision, but also he was put in a pit. That didn't kill his vision. He was sold out to a foreign country. He was sold into a foreign country. That didn't cause his vision to die. He was falsely accused of attempted rape. He was thrown into prison. That didn't cause it, because he had a vision. He had seen it, and he stuck to it. Now, when you look at the process, I believe that the reason why most of the time God will not tell us the process when he gives us a vision is because if he tells you the process, chances are that you might give up. If God had told Joseph when he revealed that dream to him, the vision to him, that, hey, you see the sun and the moon and all those things, the stars bowing down to you, and your brothers bowing down to you, which of course they happened. And if he had told you that, oh, they are going to put you in your pit, they will try to kill you, but one of your siblings will intercept or will stop them from killing you, but rather they will sell you out, and they will sell you to Potiphar, and Potiphar's wife is going to falsely accuse you of attempted rape because you didn't easily give in to her, and you're going to be thrown in prison. I mean, if God had given him that process, he would have told God, hey, let it be, let it be, let it be. I'm not part of this. I don't want to be part of it. But when he stepped to the vision, at the end, it spoke. And it came to pass. David had a vision, but also a wilderness. He was anointed king of Israel, even though there was a king on the throne at a very early stage of his life, about 17 years. But right after he was anointed king, he went back into the wilderness looking after his father's sheep. I mean, he was doing what he had to do. He had a vision. Jesus had a vision, but also a cross. A cross that brought redemption to you and I. That's why the first scriptures tells us that looking unto him, the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him, he endured the pain. He despised the shame, because he had seen a victory ahead for us. He had that vision to redeem you and I from the curse of this world, to reconcile us back to God. So if you let circumstances interpret your vision, ladies and gentlemen, you will quit too soon. But God didn't bring you here to quit. Number one, you have to understand that winners are not quitters, and quitters are not winners. Those that persevere to the end, those are the ones that win the prize. And God has seen that in you. He's built that in you, that you are going to win that prize. That is why you don't have to give up on yourself. You don't have to keep. So keep your eyes on what God said, not what life is showing you. When you look at what life is showing you, you always give up on yourself. You always throw in the towel. You always lose that fight even before you get into the ring. So keep your eyes on what God said, or what life is showing you. Number three is guard your focus and your voice. Guard your focus and your. So you got to guard your focus and your voice. What you focus on grows. What you speak reinforces belief. There was this little boy who went to his grandfather and asked him, so faith and fear, which one is stronger? And his grandfather told him that what you feed is what becomes stronger. What you starve is what weakens. So if you feed your faith gets stronger. If you starve your fear weakens. But if you feed your fear, guess what? Your fear gets stronger. And if you starve your faith, it weakens. So focus on what growth is about. What you focus on grows. And what you speak reinforces belief. Stop rehearsing what went wrong. Stop crying over spilled milk. Stop talking about who left you. You know, there are some people that are supposed to be part of your journey. They're supposed to walk alongside with you to a certain point. And if they leave you, that means that God doesn't want them to continue the journey with you. Because sometimes when they don't understand the journey, they'll discourage you. When they don't understand where God is taking you, they'll cause you to abort your dreams. When Mary got pregnant, God did not send her to 81, except her cousin Elizabeth, who was advanced in age. She had been called barren all her life. And even her cousin didn't know she was 6 months pregnant. Until Mary got pregnant and God told her to go to her cousin who was 6 months pregnant. They had been laughing, you know, back in those days, if you never had a child, I mean, the word barren was really something no good. I mean, society will really make you feel that you're not part of it. So those that were laughing at her, in the end, they came laughing with her. So, who left you? I mean, let him go. How long it's taken? It's testing your patience. This reminds me every time of, I wish I could have that picture right here of this gentleman who, he was told that the land he had his house on had diamonds beneath it. You know, these geological engineers had come in and they tested the soil and they realized that that land had diamonds. So one day he decided to dig down to see if he was going to hit the diamonds and he was going to be so much rich. He started digging. He dug through. And when he was just about 2 more strikes to hit the diamonds, he walked away because he was so tired. He had dug down so deep and hadn't found anything, so he thought they lied to him. And guess what? After some months, he was so frustrated, he needed money, so he sold the land to those people who had told him they had tested the land and there were diamonds beneath the land. So he made those people rich. But just 2 more strikes would have made him that richest person ever. So how long it takes? How long it's taken? We have to stop rehearsing that. And when you stop rehearsing, one of the things you have to do is to start declaring. Declaring God is faithful. Declaring the vision is alive. The vision is on. I've turned on the lights to my vision and I'm not turning off the lights. I have the vision on. I am still called to fulfill this vision. That is what you have to be declaring. Make that bold declaration every day when you wake up, before you go to bed, when you're eating. I mean, make that declaration. Let it come alive every day. And that is why Proverbs 4 and verse 25 tells us that let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Then you don't have to deviate from it. You don't have to get distracted by it, but fix your eyes on it. Distraction is vision's silent enemy. Stay focused. Tell yourself every day that I will stay focused. Number four. Number four. Number four. Number four. Number four. Okay, so number five. Number five. You got to surround yourself with vision reinforcers. This is very important. I said earlier that not everybody will see eye to eye with where you're going. Sometimes you'll be mocked because others will see you that you've been in this too long. You've been in this area far too long. But stay on course. Everyone around you doesn't need your vision, but someone does. Someone does. I got encouraged more when I started receiving the messages from other people who are telling me that this is impacting their lives in a way. I'd always been in the background. I'd always, I'm a very shy person. I say this and most people don't believe. I'm a really, really very shy person. I blush. you know, I am a very, very shy person. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break, and I'll be back. Step Out, Step In podcast. Live on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribe today.
Step out of the shadow. It's a brand new.
All right. Again, thank you for tuning in. And okay, so let's continue. We are number 5. Number 5. And as I surround yourself with vision reinforces. Everyone around you doesn't need your vision, but someone does. I was telling you about how I'm being encouraged by the people that are being impacted by this. I said I'm a really shy person. I say this and most people don't believe it, but I know myself. And putting a camera before me going live. And one of the reasons why they want to record and put it on there, sometimes when you record, you want to make everything look so perfect. I wanted to go live so that all the flaws, the mistakes. I'm not looking for perfection, but I'm looking for excellence. I'm looking for this to bless at least one person. And when it blesses one person, guess what? That one person is all going to be a blessing to another person, and it becomes that ripple effect. And we keep going. That is why I keep saying that we are all in this together. You need people who speak life to you. People who speak into your life and make your life better. People who remind you of your calling. And people who encourage you when you are tired, exhausted, ready to throw in the towel. You need people like that. And when I say you need people like that, yes, you need people like that. People that when you call them, you're not going to, even when you're weeping, you leave or you hang up the phone with so much excitement and zeal in your heart, in your spirit. And I want to say thank you to my spiritual parents, Dr. Franco Ofusuapia and Reverend Mary Ofusuapia. I mean, these are amazing people. You know, Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and the verse 9 and 10 tells us that 2 are better than 1. If either fall, one can help the other up. And those are the people you need in your life as you keep the vision on. Don't isolate yourself. Isolation weakens vision, ladies and gentlemen. When you isolate yourself, it weakens your vision. Community, the right community, strengthens your vision. The right community strengthens your vision. So you need that right community. You need to engage. You need to connect with that right community. So the vision is still on. The vision is still on. And I want you to just write it somewhere and make that declaration that the vision is still on. In 2026, you're going to keep it on, you're going to keep it burning, and you're going to keep it fired up. All right, so let's do a quick recap. let's do a quick recap. Okay, all right. So we said number one, write the vision and revisit it often. When you write it down, you can't forget. It serves as a reminder. Refuse to interpret vision through circumstances. Yes, you go through those challenging moments. You go through those trial moments. But it doesn't mean that that is the end of it. Push through it. Persevere. Because that is what you are wired for. Guard your focus and your voice. What you declare is what is established. And refrain from saying anything negative about it. Learn from delays. Learn from delays and defeats. Don't live in them. Everything and every state or stage you go through, there's something that you and I can learn from it. Let's learn from what we encounter, what we go through. What are the teachable moments in there? Instead of crying over what we've lost, rather than focusing on what we have. And surround yourself with vision reinforcers, people that will speak life into your life, will speak life into your vision, will assure you, will encourage you to keep going. Because they've been there, they've walked the walk, and now they're talking the talk. Did I say right? Okay, yeah. All right. So let me say this clearly as we wrap up. Let me say this clearly as we wrap. The vision is still on. The vision is still on. Even if it's slower than expected, even if it looks different than imagined, even if you've had to start again, keep it going. God doesn't revoke visions because of human weakness. He refines them. He will fine-tune it. He will refine it. He will give it to you again, in a better way. Philippians 1:6 says that he who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. That means that he knows you. He knew you before you were clot of blood in your mother's womb, called you by name, set you apart for such a time and a season like this. And he's built within you good works. And he who began a good work, and let me tell somebody right here that God finished you before he brought you into this world to begin what he had already finished. Because the scripture tells us that he declares the ending from the beginning. So you were a finished product, and he brought you in here to begin something that has already been finished. That is why you are more than a conqueror. That is why you are an overcomer. That is why you don't have to easily give up. So if God started it, he intends to finish it. Take note of that. Your job is to stay aligned with your vision, to stay connected with your God. Your job is to stay faithful, and your job is to stay focused. So your job is to stay aligned. Your job is to stay connected to your God. Your job is to stay faithful, and your job is to stay focused. So as you go about this week, let's have a call to action. What are we going to work on individually? And as I say this to you, I'm saying it to myself as well. And here are some action steps for this week. Take time and rewrite or revisit your vision. If you haven't written them down, it's not too late. It's better late than never. Identify one distraction you need to remove. If you're spending too much time on social media, you can set a time to it. If you're spending too much time watching the I almost said Nigerian movies, but I'm not going to say that, no. But look at what distracts you. Identify the distractions and remove them. Declare out loud every day that the vision is still on. Make that bold declaration. Wake up early in the morning with so much fire in your spirit and in your bones and declare that the vision is on. The vision to start that business, the vision to write a book that will motivate and change lives, many lives. The vision to write and produce that song that will inspire many people. The vision to go back to school and better yourself. The vision to start creating your productive social media content. And the vision to raise funds to help others, those who are in need. And let me say this, if this episode encouraged you, please share with someone who feels discouraged. Subscribe to this Step Out, Step In podcast and leave a review. Leave a review. Let's know how this is doing, how it's impacting you. I mean, a review, a genuine one. And I believe that it helps others find this message too, if you leave that review. And remember, don't step out blindly this week and this month, this year. You step out with a vision and step into everything God has already prepared for you. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for tuning in, and until same time next week, God willing, I want you to step out and step in and declare that a vision is on. This has been your host, David Gyawu. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Have a fruitful, productive, and a wonderful week. And just before I leave, one of our greatest listeners, Mrs. Davida Mansari, happy birthday. Enjoy your day as well. And until same time, God willing, next week, I say goodbye.
Step out of the shadow. It's a brand new day. Leave the fear behind. There's a brighter